Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the recap of the Walking Dead universe. We are here live every week to discuss the latest episodes. You can catch our recaps at any time on Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Subscribe for free in the app of your choice. For those of you joining us live today, thanks for taking time out of your evening to be here. I'm Tamara Ford, and I love a good TV show and a good book, of course. So if you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Recap Pods. If you're into books, you can also find me at Shelf Addiction. Joining me is show co-host Lisa. Welcome back, Lisa.
Hey, Tamara. Hey, everyone. My name is Lisa Orban. I am an author. I am also the founder of Indies United Publishing House, and I love all things pop culture. If you want to connect with me online, you can find me pretty much everywhere. Ow! At lisaorban.com or at Lisa Orban, author. Sorry, I just stuck myself.
Oh
I
my
hurt myself.
gosh. Oh, okay. But before we get going, guys, we just want to remind you that we would love your participation in this conversation. So if you are listening live on YouTube or Facebook, hit us up in the comment section. If you're catching this on a replay, you can still comment on any platform or by using the SpeakPipe voicemail in the show notes from anywhere around the world. We would love to hear from you and possibly include your comments in upcoming shows. So if you are new to the podcast, welcome. We are laid back in our style of review, aren't we, Lisa?
Absolutely. This is a conversation, not a dissertation.
Yes, no scene by scene breakdowns here. We jump around. Huge spoiler alert for everything from the past to presently, right now, these current episodes. That's it.
That's right.
No forward.
Go forward. Well, we can't really go forward anymore.
I
So,
know we're done for now, but if you're cool with that, this is the place for you, and we're gonna just get started. We always start with fear of The Walking Dead, and we're
yes.
gonna do that now. This is the mid-season finale we're talking about today, guys. After
Mm-hmm.
this, we'll have a nice winter hiatus,
It'll be
which I'm
nice.
I'm kind of looking forward to be honest. I kind of like, having some time off, but I will miss the show.
I will too. I mean, I'll miss you guys. I really will. But it's everyone like at my house right now is at the movies. They left me.
Aw. Well, if they wait until next week, you could go.
I know. They just left me. They went to go see Ghostbusters.
Oh,
I'm so
well.
sad.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine. See, I sacrifice for you guys. I love you all so much. I sacrifice for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about this episode. And, well, I don't know. Should we start with the news that we heard about this show or the episode?
Oh, go ahead. Start with the news. Why not?
Okay, so the news, you guys. Everyone that watches this show religiously knows already. Kim Dickens is coming back as Madison in the second
No.
part of this season.
No.
Yes, you didn't know that?
No. I'm just saying
You didn't
no.
watch
I'm
Talking
saying
Dead?
no. I'm saying
You
no.
can't say no. It's the ink is dry. It's done. It's done.
I'm saying no. Not that they listen to me, but no. No.
Yeah, she's gonna
Tell me
be
she's
in
at
the
least coming back as a walker.
No, she's gonna be back for real back. And it's funny because when I first saw that, I'm like, well, maybe she's gonna be in flashbacks. And then the first thing out her mouth is, oh no, Madison's alive. I'm like, oh shit. So it's not flashbacks. Boo.
No. I don't
Yeah,
want
I know.
She's one of the reasons why I didn't watch this show at first. If she comes back, I don't know if I can watch this show. I'll watch it.
Look,
I'll
so
watch it. But I'm
let
not
me
gonna
just
be
say,
happy.
I know that the tone of this show, oh my God, what is listening to me? I think my phone is listening to me. Anyway, um, I know the tone of this show is going to change when she's back on screen.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if it's gonna be good. I don't know if it's gonna be bad, but there's gonna be a change.
I don't like her.
I know. I know you don't. So do you not like the character or do you not like the actress?
I don't like the character. I
Okay.
mean, I don't really I can't recall what else I don't know that I've ever seen her in anything else, to be quite truthful, but I don't I on this show, I found her whiny and annoying, and I don't know, she just grated on my nerves, and I honestly and I really hated the way that her and what's his name? Starts with an S. That
Strand?
guy. Yeah, Strand. I
Uh-huh.
really hated the way that her and Strand played off each other.
Yeah.
I could not when they were on the screen together, I'd have to walk away. I couldn't I have no
Mm.
idea what happened to any scene with the 2 of them together because I just it was so terrible to me that I could not handle it. So, it's
Oh
her
god,
coming
I'm
back, it's gonna
scared.
be rough. It is gonna be so rough. Oh.
Oh, I feel bad for you, Lisa. Like, now, Madison was never my favorite character. I was not on the team of the people that were boohooing when she died
Oh,
and
I cheered.
begging and pleading to bring her back. I was not on that team.
Yeah, I cheered.
Yeah. I really was hoping that they would just keep her dead, but
Yeah.
uh
No.
it's really lowers again, I hate when people can't stay dead because it really lowers the stakes for me. It makes me feel like
I mean
you can't, you know,
I
count on anything.
realized they left her ending open-ended. You know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
never a body found, so they probably it was always probably in the back of their heads, "Well, we could always bring her back."
Yeah, I know, but in this type of world, when people are moving around, you know what I mean, and
Mhm.
not staying in the same spot, sometimes proof of death is not possible for every
Right.
person.
Well, and I mean, there's been a lot of people that, that we have been left we were even left, for a while there about Morgan, you know, when it was back over on The Walking Dead. But
Did you see Cleo's comment?
I did not.
Okay, she
Oh.
says, "Hopefully Morgan can come back home now so that she's back so I can quit watching."
Yeah, except here's the thing, they're getting rid of The Walking Dead too, so, we're just gonna be stuck with fear.
For
And
now,
for
we
now.
know there's other stuff coming, but in that speaking on that, I don't think they're gonna do other than the Carol and Daryl show, quote unquote.
Mhm,
I don't think they're gonna have any more like serious spinoffs, like World Beyond. That was something they tried, and overall, it was kind of a fail.
mhm,
So I don't know if they're gonna keep doing spinoffs like that. I see them doing like a bunch of short stories or little, minisodes or webisodes
mhm.
or, capsulized stories, but I can't believe we're gonna see a whole bunch of spinoffs. So,
I mean, at most, I mean, it is always possible depending on the time variances that, the fear could run across some characters from, uh, World Beyond at some point in the future, but
well, it looks like from what I heard, we can talk a little bit about that as well. From what I heard, Gimple was saying that like in a roundabout way that we could pretty much see these characters from World Beyond again in different settings.
mhm.
So,
And I kind of assumed, by the way they
mhm,
left things,
mhm.
that would be the case.
Which I don't love either. We'll get to that later,
Yeah.
um yeah, Karina mentions Tales of the Walking Dead, right? But that's another capsulized type short story setting, right? Every
Mhm.
episode's going to be a story or a tale.
Right.
It's not like an ongoing series.
So,
So, I don't know. I feel meh about Madison's character. especially because the Alicia that we see in this episode,
Is
it
not the Alicia that we saw at the last time she was on the screen,
correct.
and definitely not the daughter that Madison will remember.
Mhm. And I mean, once you get to this point, I kind of wonder, is she past the point of no return? Could she be how she was? Is it even possible? What kind of interactions would she have with people? You know, her
Mhm.
mother, should she come across her again after all this time?
Well,
I
and I
don't
will
know.
say this is the first time we've ever had a character that was in limbo land over, a walker bite. Either they were or they weren't, and if they were, they usually suc succumbed,
Mhm.
whatever, within, like, days. So the so and I really did how they've been doing having her character, I mean, it's kind of odd that, she's in this limbo land because we've never had a character in limbo land like this.
No, and I feel like they are, and granted, right? Viruses change, they mutate, all
Mhm.
that stuff.
I
But
mean, she
they're
could
kind
have
of
higher immunity
changing,
to it,
right?
you know?
But they're changing like the franchise story, right? Like
Yeah.
of how that works.
Mhm.
So
And they've
now
changed it
she's living
before.
with an active virus.
Right. And they have changed it before because, at the very beginning when this whole thing started with The Walking Dead, the only way you could get it is if you were bit. And then by was it season 2, then it was, airborne and everybody had the virus. So, if you died whether bitten or not, you turned. And,
Yeah.
and then we've got and and here's the other thing. I mean, Alicia doesn't really know if it's actually that's what's killing her. There's no tests were done. I mean, they didn't have a single doctor in that underground facility apparently. Um, and I mean, it could be anything, because like Will said when he was talking to her, in one of the flashbacks, you know, you lost your arm, in a dirty, and you know, took your own arm off in a dirty sewer. It could be sepsis. It
Right.
could be, any number of things that's actually taxing her body. It may not be the virus. She's making assumptions.
It may not be, but the only thing that makes me disagree with you is that number one is now it's months later, right?
Yeah,
That was months ago she got bitten.
right.
And she had told Morgan she has tried antibiotics, she has taken them.
Mhm.
So, and it did not work. So, we
And
know
she could just be
antibiotics kills
sick.
all of she could be, but antibiotics works on things that are known to us, at least in the past.
Well, I mean, aside from an infection, I mean, she could just be sick. It could have damaged some internal organs, or she could have, there could be something wrong with anything. She could just be sick.
I don't
But this,
expect we're gonna get any kind of long drawn out
yeah.
medical explanation.
But again, this is The Walking Dead, so my guess is they're gonna go with, she's half walker at this point. But then that makes me wonder if she bites somebody, can she turn someone?
I don't know. I mean, she clearly thinks that she's gonna not wake up one day
Mhm.
as herself and then
Right.
bite someone.
Mhm.
But I don't know if she bit someone today now if something would happen to them
I
or not.
mean, technically speaking, I mean, if she's carrying around the virus, if her
Yeah.
body's fighting it off, that doesn't necessarily mean someone else's could. And if
Yeah,
the
true.
viral load's that high, then in theory, if she bites
Right.
someone, she could turn them. Well, that's kind of a superpower in this scenario, isn't it? Not a good
Oh my
one,
gosh.
but yeah, it's not
You
a
go
good
around
one.
biting
Just
people.
I'm just saying, you can bite
Yeah.
your enemies.
You could. You could.
Don't make me bite you. You'll regret it.
Oh my gosh.
Just saying.
That would be pretty awful if people could just go around biting people and turn them.
I know, right?
That would be awful. Because they might not see it coming because you look
Right.
regular for the most part.
Mhm. Well, she looks
But
sickly, but, you know.
yeah, but if they don't know, well, eventually people will know, right? But it's not like someone can get on the national news and say, beware of people who are
Right.
now able to bite you. And, so it'll be a while before people caught on to that.
Yep. I gotta tell you, though, jumping ahead to the end of this episode, when Alicia declares war, on Strand, me being me, if I had been Strand and, if I'm the bad guy, I would've just pulled out my gun and shot both of them. I'm just saying. Strand's a bad guy, he's already tossed people out, off roofs and everything else. I'm just saying, if he knows that Alicia is not going to be one of him and, him being him, and when she's, "I'm gonna declare war," as they stand there essentially unarmed, you know,
you know,
I'm
yes,
just
I get
saying I
what
would've
you're
shot him.
saying. That would make sense. But, Strand, he won't just do something simple like that. It has to be this grand, I win, you won't beat me, nah, nah. It
Well,
won't
I'm
be
just
just
saying
simple as,
shooting them dead would I win. I'm
I
just
know you would.
I'm very practical, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he could have. He very well could have just killed them and been done with it.
Exactly. I
But
mean,
then
this
what show would they have?
yeah, I mean, they're gonna have this whole torturous, this is gonna be the back half of the season. It's gonna be the war between him and Alicia, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I actually enjoyed this episode as much as I had hoped, to be truthful.
Mhm.
Uh, did you?
I thought it was fine. It wasn't as good as I was expecting.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like I don't wanna be, like, down on it, but it was fine.
Well, I mean,
It
that's
was
just I mean, it was fine. I guess I was
yeah,
expecting, with this being the mid-season finale, I guess I was expecting something a little more. And I
right.
don't even, and considering everything they were doing, I'm not even sure what that more is. It seemed a little clunky.
Yeah, well, they had to set up the back half of the season, which is now, Strand and Alicia going to war, right?
Mhm.
But with that said, does that mean that Padre is like off the table for the back half of the season, or is that like a secondary story going on? I mean, her walker clearly did not, the
The
governor or
senator.
whoever, the senator, yeah, clearly did not do what she wanted to do. So
Mhm.
that lead is gone. And now she's focused on Strand. So does that mean Padres, you know,
You
gone
know,
for
it
now?
right. Well, here's the thing. So people have been talking about Padre, but the fact is no one's actually gotten there as far as I know. Um, it's kind of the Shangri-La of this thing. And and
Yeah.
here's the thing I don't understand. I wouldn't even be searching for Padre if I was with one of these groups. I would just head the opposite direction of the wind and just keep going,
Yeah.
because they know that it's not that part, that they only got the one missile off. So it's in a fairly contained area, more or less. And obviously it's not completely saturated. So just keep walking until you get out of it. The end. You
Yeah,
know,
I hear what you're saying. I mean, it sounds so simple, but she
because
got in her head from Will that this is a place,
right.
she knows the senator's family went there. It's a place. It's
Mhm.
real. But
But
no
they
one
also,
knows where it is. It's top
and and
secret.
and the other thing is there's been no contact with it for years.
Right.
Years and years. And at this point, I mean, with them down in the bunker, and every, people having radios, I mean, we already know from The Walking Dead, with a big enough, radio tower, you can get quite a distance. So the fact
Mhm.
that there's been complete silence in Padre means one of 2 things. Either it's a sealed underground facility that they've locked the doors and went, "We're not coming out," which means no one can go in, or it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, those are really the only 2 possibilities.
Yeah, I don't know. No
And
one
if
knows. Hell,
and
Will didn't even really know.
well, and here's the other thing. I mean, why would the governor keep the location a secret from everyone in the underground bunker? Why didn't he tell Will? Why didn't he tell his aides? Why didn't he tell the other people? Why would he have kept it an absolute secret? That to me was suspicious.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's not like he just found out the information and hadn't had a chance to relay it. No, he's apparently known where Padre is.
Yeah.
He's They were just hunkered down there in the bunker and didn't want to leave, which tells me, and again, since they don't know, they haven't had any contact. I'm really going to go with Padre doesn't. It may have existed, but it is either it's not existing in the form that it was supposed to be because other, squatters, the original group could have died and the squatters have come in, um, or it's just a completely defunct.
Yeah, or
And
it's just
there's no
hidden
way of
so
even
well, it's cut off from everyone,
right.
period.
Well, and it's even possible since they have no idea where it is, it's even possible it got hit smack dab with one of these, with one of these bombs. They don't
Yeah,
know.
it's true. It could be destroyed. You don't know. Um,
So,
yeah.
personally, I would just head east, maybe west. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd pick a direction and just keep going in that direction until I was out of until I was out of the radiation zone. Because
Yeah.
there's nowhere in that area that's honestly gonna be safe for a very, very long time. So just leave. It's not like these guys haven't wandered, far.
You know, I
Morgan knows that
love
Alexandria exists.
look,
You know
I seriously love how logical you think about these things. But the writers cannot think that way. They don't know how to think that way because they have a place they want to get and they're like, how can we make it happen? Even though it makes no sense.
I know.
It's the long way. They just, you
Because
know what I mean?
I guess, I mean, but in my mind, since again, Morgan knows about where Alexandria is, where Hilltop and is when he left, Alexandria, the Hilltop, and the Kingdom were all still up and running, and Oceanside. If I had been him, I would have been leading my people like Moses out of the radiation zone. "We're going east!" You know?
Well, he hadn't found everyone until recently.
Yeah, I know. But even still,
So,
that's never he's never mentioned that even as a plan. As soon as we
no.
gather our people up, we're gonna head east. I know of I know of other communities that we could all go to, that's out of the danger zone.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They could ultimately end up there. I mean, because some of the people from that show can end up on this show. It could be interesting how they shuffle the deck after The Walking Dead ends.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I get irritated at times and I realize, like you said, I'm using a lot of logic here, but and there should be a suspension of disbelief, but at the same time they meander a lot. And
Yeah, like in this episode, I feel like Alicia could not do a good job explaining herself for some reason. Like we got these flashbacks, for purpose of, telling us what happened to her, which was good. But
mhm,
Morgan's constantly asking, "What happened? What
yeah,
happened to you?" And it's like she gives these half-ass like explanations and he doesn't really know why they're following the walker. And eventually he's like, enough is enough. You're not telling me anything. We're doing this crazy shit. I'm about to kill this walker.
right.
I'm
Well,
like,
and I
she's
think
horrible.
I think what she's gotten into her head because again, they let the senator go, um, to make its way through the tunnels. And apparently, it on its own found a way out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So well,
Hmm.
more or less. Uh, but again, I think it's I don't think it was searching for Padre, a place it's never been. Um, I think it was just, doing what walkers do, wandering.
But that is weird. What did she think it was gonna walk toward?
It I because she even told Morgan they have some kind of memory retention, and I
Right.
think she's holding on to that too because she thinks she's gonna turn, and she's hoping to hold on to herself. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
could tell that. I mean, I know she was kind of internalizing some of that for sure.
Yeah, and I
But
think I think she I think what I think Alicia's not quite sane right now, honestly. She got this idea in her head that she could make this walker take her to where she so desperately wants to be able to find Padre that she has convinced herself of something that she knows isn't true. Walkers don't remember. They wander around, and I mean, uh, again, at the beginning, I think it was like in episode 3 or 4 of The Walking Dead, the very first season. And we first, and we're meeting Morgan. His dead wife kept coming back to the house
mhm.
and then wander away. So he had it in his head that maybe, just maybe, there was some vestige of her, which is what, as he said, ended up getting his son killed because he
Right.
kept hoping um that somewhere in there was his wife. And we all know that they wander around, and they kind of do pattern type of walking, but it's more like but there's really nothing behind it. But I think because he was able to find the senator was able to find his way out of the tunnels, she got this hope in her head that he could in fact um lead them to Padre to take him back, because in her mind there's still something left of him and he's looking for his family, which
Yeah.
he's probably just looking for his next meal,
I
you
mean,
know.
honestly, right? Like, we know she's pulling at straws, right? It makes no sense.
Right.
But the fact that I was disappointed that she could not, like, explain herself coherently to Morgan. It was a fiasco.
Right.
I'm
Well, and
like,
I kinda
you
think
want
they
him
did
to
that in
follow you, you want him to trust you,
Mhm.
but you're not gonna fucking tell him exactly what you're doing? It just didn't make
Right.
sense to me.
Well, I think part of what I think, like I said, I don't think she's really all there right now. I think she's feverish. She's, and like she said, she hasn't eaten in days. She hasn't slept even longer.
Oh gosh, right?
And so which can make your thinking very delusional.
Yeah, it's not
And
helping anything for
and
sure.
it's not helping anything. And I think but I think there was a part of her that knew that if she told Morgan exactly what it was she was trying to do, he would have just straight up said, "Alicia, you're out of your mind. You know this isn't true." And this was the last thing she was holding on to. This was her last hope. But I think the part that really kind of that I'm kind of confused about is why she thought Morgan could help her when no one else could. Anybody, I mean, she could have had any of her followers just with her in this zombie and wander its path. It didn't have to be Morgan. So why was she so dead set on finding Morgan, other than
Yeah, I don't
maybe as
know.
a backup plan if she died, to give her people over to him. That's the only thing I can think of on
Yeah, I
why
could
it was
see that.
so important to have him
That's
there.
the only thing I could reason is that she needed someone for her people, but if that's the case, they sent their people off and now you're
Yeah,
asking Morgan to just follow you and this walker around, which is doesn't go make any sense.
right. And they don't know where the sub is.
No.
And, so they're just out, with Sherry and Dwight and, playing, you know, cowboys on the plane.
Oh my
And
gosh, right?
I just yeah. It's and like I said, I mean, obviously, Strand is he he let he let Morgan go, but now he's hunting him down. I don't understand that either. Why did he even let him go? He could, and he promised. Gray said he would let her go and he wouldn't, go after Morgan, but here he is out
I
there
know.
chasing
What did he
down Morgan,
say?
trying to kill him.
What did he say? It's the Wild West out here or something? Like, what I said in the tower doesn't apply out here or
Yeah,
something? Like, what
promises.
the hell?
Yeah, or yeah, my word doesn't mean anything out here or something like that.
Right.
You know.
But what the
Yeah.
you you still needed him to find Alicia, which he did do by accident, right? He didn't really find her, she found him. But
Right. And
why
honestly, I
would you
mean it
go after him? That doesn't make sense. Like, I know he tried to kill you and you're mad about it, but you still want him to find Alicia.
right. And honestly, if I had been Alicia, I wouldn't have declared war. I would have gone into the tower with him because
Mm.
it's really easier to get into a tower once you're in it, you know?
Well, she
Just
was mad. She saw her boy on the ground, and
I
I
know.
get it because, she's like, "Why would you do that?" Like, "'Cause you're an asshole." And he knows he can't lie, so he just tells the truth. And, like, who wants to hear you purposely did something on purpose to hurt me? I'm
Right.
gonna hurt you back, period. I don't
And
care.
it was gonna hurt you. He said he loved you, which
Right.
killed her, you
Yeah.
know? And we did find out what Will did. It was he didn't kill her,
Yes.
you know? But, uh but yeah, I don't know. I mean, but again, me being me, because, I'm lazy. I don't wanna really work at this. It'd be a whole lot easier to take him down if I was in the tower than if I was out of it. So,
Yes.
I would've went
Yes.
I would've gone with them. I wouldn't have told him anything even about, I might turn into a walker or anything. "Can I sleep in your room?" You know,
Oh my
"Let me
gosh.
lick you. Let me lick your
Well,
eyeball." I
oh
don't know.
god.
Um,
Oh god.
I'm just saying.
Um, yeah,
Germ
I get
warfare
it.
at this point.
But that's like no excitement, no fighting,
I
no
know. I don't
yeah.
know. I would kinda watch I mean, it might be funny to watch her lick his eyeball, I'm just saying,
Oh,
you know?
Jesus.
You know, bite him on bite his nose, something. I'm just saying it would be kinda funny. And, watching her turn everyone on the inside against him, I would enjoy that.
Mhm. It
Because I
wouldn't
mean
take much.
and it wouldn't take much. I mean, even in Alicia's state right now, she is still more charismatic than Strand is, you know? And, I really and again, it wouldn't have taken much for her to go in there, figure out the lay of the land. He said, "You're the only one I can trust." Well, then he would have if he had trusted her, he would have given her the keys to the castle, so to speak, and she could have just let everyone in.
Hmm.
They could have still
Uh,
had the fight
yikes.
scene, just
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I know, and I mean, I hear what you're saying, it makes complete sense, but
But I
but
know. I know.
and I think what this war they're gonna go to, what this war they're gonna have, it's gonna be a short war. It's not gonna
Mhm,
go on and on because, A, if she's right and she really is infected and she could
mhm,
die, could that be a trade-off for Madison? Alicia meets her mother again and she dies.
mm,
Or, she's somehow makes it through and she lives with the virus. She's still not going to want to do that forever because she still has to figure out how to work her mother into the story.
yeah.
So,
Well, and I mean, at that point, I mean, think about it, Madison will have lost all of her children by then,
oh my gosh.
and
Uh,
didn't they
it
have a
just,
younger brother too? Alicia, didn't she have
uh, I don't
k
remember a younger brother. I just remember her and, what's his face.
there was a heroin addict, but I was thinking there was a younger brother too, but I don't I think he died, got bitten, so I don't know.
Maybe
I
very
think it would've been,
early,
like,
but I don't
1st, 2nd season.
I don't even
Anybody know?
remember that far back, to be honest. Yeah, you guys, if you know who it is, tell us if that's right or not. Um,
Karina
so
says no.
okay.
Okay. Chris, the stepbrother, younger Cleo. Chris was a younger
Oh,
stepbrother.
yeah, Chris is a stepbrother. He was,
Okay.
the what's his face is, her husband her new husband's, son. Yeah,
Yeah.
Travis's son.
Like I said, I
Maybe
remember there
that
was a
too.
younger kid. I just,
Mhm.
but I didn't. I watched what I watched like 4 episodes, maybe I think 5 episodes of the first season, and went, I can't do this. So, and I didn't pick it up again until well, Madison died and they brought in Morgan. So I
Well, I really with all of that, I really hope that you don't be like, "Oh my god, I can't watch this. I'm done again."
oh suffer through it. Ugh.
You
The
guys
things
heard
I
that,
do for
right?
you guys.
I know, you
Okay.
guys heard it. So,
I'll
if
suffer
Lisa tries to
through.
back out, you know how to get to her through her social media. Y'all go come for her if she backs out.
I can hit
See?
ignore. I know what
Girl,
that button means. You know?
my block game is strong too, I'm not even gonna lie, so
So, I mean, overall, this wasn't I mean, this wasn't a I think what it was is if this had been the episode right before the finale, it would have been better. If it wasn't the season cliffhanger, you know what I mean? This
yeah.
I didn't feel like this was a cliffhanger. This wasn't a mid-season finale show. I guess that was kind of my disappointment, you know? Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I get it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I did enjoy the episode. I thought it was good to see what happened to Alicia.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was, good to see Strand come back into contact with Alicia, even though, he's, the worst right now.
Yeah.
uh, but it just wasn't, it didn't have the wow factor.
Yep. Although I did kind of enjoy that one moment. "You tried to kill me," and Morgan's like, "Well, okay, not really." "Yeah, really you did, Morgan. You really did."
Alicia was like, "What?" He's like, "Well, it's not what it seems, but yeah,
He's
it is what it seems."
so, I'm not at some point, I wonder if he's going to justify what he did some way, but yeah, he straight up tried to kill Strand. I mean, he really did.
Wow. I know
So,
Alicia's going to try to take the tower, but I doubt she'll kill him
yeah.
because she didn't say, "I will kill you." She's like, "I'm going to take what you want most." So,
Well, I think it would probably make her very happy to basically take the tower and just shut him out where he can only watch from he can watch from the telephone booth like everyone else.
like, throw his out.
Yeah. Although, I can see this. I can see this. If Madison does come back, I can see Madison killing him.
Yeah. Hmm. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Depends. I know everyone just loves Madison and him together,
Yeah.
but once I feel like once Madison finds out what has become of Strand, maybe she might not be Team Strand.
Right. Well, I
You
mean,
know,
and again, for a little while there, Strand was trying to be better. He was help he he threw in with Madison with her idea, and he got the boyfriend, and but even still, even then, he had his car, he had his stash, he had his
Mhm.
getaway. So
Mhm.
he never even then he never actually threw 100% in with her. He was always looking for the out.
Yeah.
So,
He always had his own plan working in the background always. Like if
always.
this shit hits the fan, I'm out of here and I've got all the stuff.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I'm not looking forward to Madison coming back. Did they say when exactly she was coming in? Like right
They
away or towards
said they didn't say exactly what episode, but they said, season 7B. So that, what sometime
Uh-huh.
during the back half of this season.
Okay.
So I'm sure as we, get closer to April 17th, I think that's when they return. That's quite a ways away. Uh, we'll probably hear some rumors and stuff about what episode she'll be in. I'm sure people will be trying to. dig that up. You know, the
Right.
snoots, the sleuths, or whatever. They'll find it. And that is a long way to wait, y'all. I didn't really think April, but yeah, it's April. So it's a long time.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
But in the
So,
meantime, we have The Walking Dead. I think that comes back in February. I think.
yeah,
I believe.
actually, while we were talking, I was trying to look it up on my
Mhm.
phone real quick, but it doesn't wanna go up. It's just telling me, "No, I don't wanna give you what's coming up later." Couple days ago, it gave me the number and I forgot, so I'm sorry, guys.
Let's just see if I can find it right quick. February 20th.
Ah,
It's the
76
mids.
days.
Yeah.
It finally let me go.
So, all right, cool. So yeah, so that is what we'll be back with in February, and we have to wait for Fear. Now,
That's
I
right.
guess you want to move on to World Beyond.
Yep, 77
Uh,
days. We'll have another show in 77 days.
all right, so we have
Okay.
77-day vacation,
Mhm.
76-day vacation. All right, so the finale of the final season of World Beyond happened.
Mhm.
And this is another one I mean, it was good, right?
Right.
But it wasn't
Worth the payoff for all the
wow.
suffering.
Exactly. Uh Now, first, let me just say, we already know. I've watched some interviews with Scott Gimple. I've read some interviews in the last 2 days with him, and he is not saying anything, nothing about those movies. He is
No.
on lockdown about those movies.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's like the whole people are calling it like the Marvel effect or whatever. You know how Marvel people are
Mhm.
locked down, they better not say shit, right?
Right.
Um so they're not sure if stuff is canceled or there's a bunch of rumors of what could be happening with those movies, but no one's going to know because his mouth is shut.
Mhm.
So from that perspective, I kind of feel like
Excuse me.
we didn't get any kind of payoff with Rick, in my opinion. Yeah, he was
No.
mentioned, but he's
I
been mentioned
mean,
before.
right. I mean, the
So
whole what was said was how do they put it? "I brought it an A, but I told him it was a B, so he didn't end up in the lab because I owed him that much."
right,
Okay.
right,
Thanks. That wasn't much of a payoff. I mean, we know that he was alive at one point, but
right,
that's all we know, which,
right.
we all kind of assumed because, movies and I don't I I don't know. They kind of left a lot of things in the just kind of this is it. This was the end and yet they still left things unanswered. There was like uh Silas, going back to the CR or the CRM and, joining up to become one of their soldier boys. That is
Yeah.
Silas, right?
Yeah, and actually when
Okay.
that scene came up, I was like, "Oh, man." Like, yes, it's good he got in, that was the goal, right? They didn't he didn't wanna
Mhm.
die.
Right.
But I was like, seeing him in that uniform, I'm like, "Wow." And, like, that conversation he had with Jadis, I'm like, "Man, is she trying to imply that he's a a really good CRM soldier and he doesn't know it yet?" Like, he
I think
will
what she
drink the
was
Kool-Aid and he doesn't know it yet?
I think what she was implying is he's just like her.
Yeah, she totally drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
100%.
not just the drinking of the Kool-Aid, but the fact that, Jadis is a little off. I mean, she's always been a little off.
Mhm.
And I really think that what she was, when she had that conversation with them, it was, "I'm gonna mold you in my image," you know? Not the
Mm.
CRM, but mine. So
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna mentor him, right? She's
right,
pretty much said
sorry.
that. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see what becomes of him. I would love to see in the future. Is he really like a mole or does he actually turn? You know what I mean? Does he
Right.
actually,
I mean, he does have a stubborn streak, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
Y So, I mean, it is conceivably possible that he is just, you know, playing along, playing the long con, so to speak.
I know, but
Then again,
how long can you hold out before
right,
things start
before
to
you drink the
influence
Kool-Aid.
you?
Right. Because, the thing of it is the longer he's there, he's gonna make friends, he's gonna have
Yep.
a circle and it even if they're bad people, it doesn't matter. These are the people you eat with, you sleep with, you interact with, that they're in your life, so you're not looking at them as just nameless faces, they
Mhm.
begin to mean something.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know. And you know, I wasn't honestly surprised that Huck died. They at least, I mean, they gave her a decent death, for The Walking Dead. She went out a
Yeah,
hero.
I uh I liked that. I knew it. I knew she was going to be some kind of sacrifice. I
Right.
knew that she was not going to get out of that.
Mhm.
um but I'm okay with it. I don't feel any kind of way about her dying. I just feel
Right.
like, okay.
Well, and I knew the minute that she's like, "Hey, that weapons
Yeah.
stash, it's what, about 3 miles from here?" Which is what they thought
Mhm.
was the minimum safe zone, you
Mhm.
know? And,
Mhm.
and honestly, I think if Silas hadn't have stayed, I think the 2 of them would have died together, her and her
Yeah.
husband. But the whole point of going there was to get Silas out.
Yeah.
So, because both of them had, she felt she owed it to him, and she did. She owed Silas that much. And her husband had actually, developed quite a soft spot for him. So,
Yeah. What did surprise me though, I mean, it didn't surprise me when I realized the situation they were in, but
mhm.
it shocked me to see Silas shoot him. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like, dang. But he had to, you know?
Well, and he's killed before. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
But still, that's his friend, or not his friend
yeah.
per se, but someone he respects. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Or as Jada's put it, a father. It's like killing your father all over again. You know?
yeah. So it sucks. I'm like, that kind of sucks. He didn't want to do it, but he had to.
Right. And, sometimes you do what you gotta do, you know?
Hmm.
And
And I feel like what's his face was right. Had the CRM came in and they were both alive, they were both going to be killed.
mhm, exactly. So
So,
this was his only chance.
mhm.
And
Mhm.
so yeah. I do I will say um I'm not sure. I mean, so we got the group split up and they Percy, lost his arm. Everyone's losing their arms.
I
And
know that was like, "Oh no, he got bit. No."
but you know, we had just seen, Alicia
You
losing
said
her arm and
Percy, it's
now he lost
Elton.
his. I'm like, well, this is a theme.
Yeah, Elton.
Or Elton,
But
sorry.
I'm glad he lived, you
Mhm.
know. Um
And but then he ended up going with the group that was going to Portland. And
mhm.
that kinda confused me because they were all ready to go when he woke up, so did they wait for him then? I guess
I
I
mean,
they had to have.
I'm gonna assume that a couple of days passed, maybe a day, at least 24 hours, maybe. Um,
After losing your arm, I'm here to tell you, I don't think that he's really up for, you know, cross
yeah, I don't
country
know.
trek.
Honestly, the end there had a lot of time gaps, right? So one
Yeah,
day, you know, Silas is shooting someone, and then he's actually at the CR at their city
right.
talking to Jadis. So we know that wasn't the same day. It wasn't.
Mhm.
So it could have been a week later, 2 weeks
Right.
later. I don't know. And same thing with, Elton. It could have been, they could have held off another day or two, a week.
Mhm.
We don't know. It was a
Right.
lot left for us to kind of just guess.
Well, and I mean, they needed to get to Seattle, but they also knew they had some time, since
Mhm.
all the gas had been blown up. And it
Mhm.
would take a while to make more of that.
Yeah.
Not that they won't. They absolutely will.
Right. And also that walk was not a 24-hour walk. I mean, it probably would have taken them a long time to get there on foot.
Well, and
So,
I mean, Portland, because I know that they're probably somewhere in the Midwest. We still don't really know where the CR is, or even the CRM, which apparently is located in a different place. Um,
right.
but, I'm assuming Midwest somewhere-ish. Um,
And we're
but
talking about Portland, Oregon, right?
yeah, we're
That's
talking
far.
Portland, and I
Even
mean,
from
we're
the
talking
Midwest.
crossing the mountains.
Yeah, that's far.
That's far.
So, even if he left, so yeah, Chloe says his arm was healed in that shot, and it was.
Mhm.
But it could have taken them a couple of months to get there. His arm could
Yeah,
have been healing as they were walking, honestly.
right. Exactly.
It could have been, they just took their time, they rested, they found places. Who knows how long it was?
Right. Well, I mean, and like I said, there is some urgency, but there's not it's not the extreme urgency they had when, um, when the CRM still had the gas,
Mhm.
so since that's gone, it will take a considerable amount of time to rebuild that stock, and they don't have the scientists anymore, and I'm sure they'll be able to find more, but, they're rebuilding from scratch.
Well, the scientists are with Hope and
Mhm.
their father.
Exactly.
So,
And I mean, it's not I'm sure that there's probably still some smart people around, but not as many.
yeah.
They
I
have
know,
their
and
s
Iris even said to the father, like, "I'm coming back, it's not
Mhm.
forever. We're not going unless they die in the mission, right? The
Right.
plan is to return."
Mhm. So,
So,
and, Hope kind of fulfilled her little arc there that, she's 'cause they had and this is why I'm saying that I kinda think that at some point there's gonna be some kind of intersection because, um, they were using Hope's idea, for, to make the zombies decompose faster.
mhm,
And of course, to do this, you're gonna have to deploy it. It's gonna have to be a deployable thing. So, and don't know if it's transmittable. And so, yeah, that they'll probably start maybe getting a hold of other group. Once they're ready, they'll have to start getting a hold of other groups and going, "Hey guys, look what we can do."
right. Yeah,
Now that being said, did you watch the end end?
I did.
Okay. So apparently they're bringing in a new kind of zombie.
Yeah, and I was reading something. I can't remember. I did not bookmark all these articles, but I guess Gimple was saying that that doesn't necessarily mean that this type of walker is just going to be everywhere. It could
Right.
be in a specific place, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, it seems like a new kind of walker. It seems faster, it seems stronger.
More aggressive.
Um, right,
Way more aggressive.
right. So, I don't know if that means that they're going to open up the story to some international stories,
Well, and I was trying to
or
figure out if it was France or if it was Canada.
hmm, it could be Canada. It really could. It could be
Yeah.
Canada.
So,
Um,
but now we know where the zombies came from or where the walkers came from. Came from that
ah,
lab.
I'm not exactly sure I'm prepared to say that all the way.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
it's
that
teams of them, like, they talked about Primrose and Violet or whatever,
mhm.
so maybe not that lab particularly, maybe
Well,
a group of people doing something?
I'm gonna be truthful. I watched it 3 times,
Uh-huh.
and the last time I turned on um, the closed captioning, and,
Mhm.
that's when I was really listening to that tape,
Mhm.
and so that was you know, their creation of the Walker virus. "Oh, that was really great that, you bypassed the brain and got the heart kick-started," and yada, yada, yada.
Oh, it sound wild. I don't know, I'm just prepared for something that is so far outside of the box that we're used to.
Yeah. Well, these
It's gonna
walkers
have
were
to
more
be
like
its own separate story.
yeah. The, that wa whatever she turned into, again, she got it faster, um, moved way faster,
Mhm.
and was I mean, just growling and aggressive. Walkers tend to if they're alone in a room, they just kinda shuffle around, they don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
But
she went
she
straight
was
to the door.
and was, banging and pounding on it and battering it trying to get out, which is not zombie
Yeah.
behavior. They
No.
kinda shuffle around, they kinda maybe paw at the door, or at a wall or whatever, but they don't aggressively go after anything. They're just persistent. As I said
Yeah.
earlier in this, a couple episodes ago, the rat eventually gets tired, zombies don't, and then that's the problem with them, that's the persistence. But this one was more like the, zombies in, the Z movie.
Oh, yeah. But, to me, they kinda changed the rules between this post-credit scene or mid-credit scene, whichever you call it, and
Mhm.
then again in Fear, they did it with Alicia. So, in
Mhm.
Alicia's case, "Oh, I'm living with this active virus in me," and
Right.
in this case, "Oh, I'm turning, like, within seconds,
Right.
and I'm up and chasing your ass," basically. So,
Exactly. Aggressively
we've
chasing
got
you.
yes, we've got, like, a lot of different things going on with these shows, and that to me reinforces that they're not gonna cross, not anytime soon.
Right.
Like, whatever's happening in this country with these walkers, it's not gonna show up on The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead for some time. Maybe
Mhm.
another show, maybe another, snippet, or maybe its own individual story within another series. I don't know, but I just can't see them crossing these. They seem so far removed. We still don't even know like the timelines for any of
Right.
these. Like they're not on the same
Exactly.
timeline. So,
Well, and I mean, and here, what you just mentioned, before, viruses do mutate. This is apparently a virus of some kind. Um, so I mean, it could, viruses adapt. So
right.
Alicia could be a variant, as Karina
Mhm.
said, and this woman could be a variant, and even on that the 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 video she was watching, they were talking about variants.
Yes.
Um, so I don't know. I mean, but and the conversation that was had was, we're gonna kill all of you guys if we find you because you started this. This is your fault.
Right.
We don't care if you can fix it or not anymore. We we want you dead.
I
Um,
mean, it's been going on for so long,
yeah.
fix it. If you could have fixed it, they would have fixed it already. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. It was interesting to me, but it didn't wow me. I'm like, okay, so this is more stuff to open up more parts of the world for them to have more, s- shit on TV.
Right. So, yeah, I was like, when I was watching, I'm just like, well, okay.
Yeah.
and of course, then I'm going, is this French Canada, not Canada, French Canada? Um, or was it actually France? Or, are we going international now?
I mean,
She
because
did say that.
honestly, French Canada is just like French. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
France, basically. They act
exactly,
like
and that's why I said
French
I
people.
don't know which,
Yeah.
I'm going because she did mention that all the scientists from that lab were in Detroit. They went to a no, not Detroit,
Ohio.
Ohio.
Mhm.
Um, Now that makes me a little wondering too because I was kind of under the impression that the CR is somewhere in the Ohio area.
Mm. Mhm.
So, do they perhaps have these guys or have had them at some point, at this, did they kickstart the military research side of the CRM because they were even talking about bringing in live subjects,
Mm.
you
Yeah,
know?
I don't remember season 2, but Karina says it was France per Jenner in season 2. I'll take your
Okay.
word for it. Yeah, I
All
don't
right.
remember, but yeah, so that even more reinforces to me that they're not gonna cross, not for a long time. Like, 2 things
Mhm.
can be happening at 2 places in the world at the same time, as
Mhm.
we know with the C word, which I don't wanna get in trouble on YouTube for saying the C word.
Okay.
C words. But yeah, like, as we can see with that, there's, like, different things going on everywhere and new variants popping up every day. That can happen with any virus and this virus, and they're doing that. So we could see a story in France about origin or future, right? It could be either or both.
Mhm. Yep. So, I guess we'll just have to see. Overall, were you satisfied with the ending or just yeah?
I was satisfied, but it wasn't what I wanted. I mean, like, they left it open. So
Mhm.
it's the end, but it's open.
Right.
And I'm like, well, now I know why they did that because they could visit these characters again if they wanted to.
Mhm. We've
So
got
with that said, I just it was it wasn't fully satisfying, but I understand why they did it. I'll
yeah.
say it that way.
We kinda get an idea what all the characters are doing.
Right.
Some are going off to, they're almost to Seattle because you see them looking at the walls of Seattle. The group of scientists, and they're not that far from the CRM. I can't believe they haven't found him in a stupid shopping mall.
I know, right?
It's not like this is a really defensible place. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
Um, but we've got in they did say that they weren't too far from the university. So was it Did you say Cornell? I don't
Yeah, I
remember
think
now.
it was Cornell.
And so we could just go get all their lab equipment and stuff. And so they're all working down in the basement of a mall, which I don't know, whatever. And you know, so and you can see them. They're actually working on their experiments. They're apparently having some success because they're watching this walker just disintegrate before their eyes as they're all lit up like a Christmas tree.
Mhm. Mm.
So
Yeah, I still didn't really love Iris nor Hope's characters. I wouldn't care to see them revisited again. I
I think
wouldn't.
if we see anyone, my guess is it's going to be Hope, not Iris.
Mhm. I could see that.
She'll be the you know ambassador-ish, science ambassador to bring this, "Hey, we've got this stuff. We need to spread it far and wide,
Mhm.
to kill the zombies." Um
Or I could see Silas again because he is
Oh, yeah.
perfectly placed with Jadis and he could show up in other places,
Mhm.
totally.
And
Um,
he's one that
yeah,
I'm absolutely assuming will show up somewhere else because they
yeah,
really they left him, you can tell it's been a while because he's not one of the cadets anymore. When you first see the cadets, I was looking for him, and then he pops up, and then he puts down his visor. So, it's
right.
probably been at least a year. Um, when they, for his little cameo there at the end, with the
Yeah.
whole ensemble on. And, so, it's and that would probably be my guess. Overall, it's been at least 6 months to a year, is what they kinda hop forward to with, you know, um, what's his name, telling the story, at the very
Oh,
end,
Elton.
Elton,
Yeah.
for his book. And, so I don't the rest of the characters, I'm not really sure we'll see, obviously Huck's dead. Um, but of the four kids, I'm not sure Hope and Silas are probably the only ones that may really have a reason to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm curious. Now? We have never had a completed show in this world before. So
Mhm.
I am curious to see what you would rate this show overall, like on a scale of like 1 to 5. Like, what would you rate this show?
A 2.
A two. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 2.5 if I wanted to be generous,
For the last
but
couple of episodes,
right.
but if the last episode, I mean, honestly, I don't think the last episode was as good as the one previous,
It wasn't. It wasn't.
you know?
Um, yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. Just
It
like the
wasn't
other show. It was fine, quote unquote, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it when I was watching it, but afterwards it kind of was like, and when I saw that post credit, that scene at the end, I was really like, "Oh, that's really not what I wanted to see,"
right,
right? But okay, I'll take it, but that wasn't what I wanted.
right. I wanted a Rick reference. I mean, we had a Rick reference, but I wanted a current update, so to speak,
Yeah.
you know, in
But that
some
is
way.
why, because of all of this, I feel like, and also knowing that Gimple is like being mum on, like, mum's the word. He's not saying a word about these movies. I'm
Mhm,
like ready to disassociate myself from these movies. Like, I feel like eventually we'll get a movie. Who knows if we're still going to get three, but we'll get
mhm,
a movie sometime in the future. And I'm not going to be looking for any more connective tissues. Like, if one happens to like be blaring and in your face, fine. But I'm
mhm,
not like counting on seeing them anywhere because we thought we were going to get that here. Everyone thought we were going to get that here,
mhm.
and we didn't.
And like I said, they could have done we had talked about last week, which was, have Rick call in on a radio, you know, and, even to Jadis, it could have
Hmm.
been. But no, couldn't even give us that.
No,
It was,
we
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 got
kinda had
nothing.
a vague reference to him in, like, maybe the 2nd or 3rd episode last season. There was a vague reference to him,
Hmm.
and then, and in this one, the whole Huck and Jadis thing where, "Well, you traded in a person to get in here," "Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. He was special," she said that, what, like, 3 times? "He was special."
I know, that's what she's mentioned that same person without saying his name at least
Mhm.
3 times since she's been back on this show.
Yeah. He was a
So we
special
all
individual.
know. Right, like, I don't know.
But, I think the thing I really wanna know is what in her mind, what makes Rick so special above and beyond other people. I really wanna I mean, it because here's the thing, R Rick was a good character, don't get me wrong, but he was flawed. He had a lot of flaws.
Mhm.
He could be very mercurial, um, in his responses because sometimes it's like, "We need to bring everyone in," and sometimes it was, "We need to kill anyone who wants to come in." It's,
Right.
very mercurial.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and, so I wanna know what it was that it would have been nice to even have her reference what made him so special that she wanted to A, protect him, and B, that the CRM found him valuable.
Mhm.
If they could have answered those 2 questions, that would have been, you know, not what I wanted, but at least a better payoff.
Yeah, I agree. Looks like Erica and Chloe both were hoping for a Michonne connection.
Mhm.
I was not anticipating one.
No.
I feel like that actress, she's doing it, right? She's busy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine her coming back for anything but those movies.
Mhm.
Um yeah, I can't see AMC giving her a spin-off show either.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, in the movies, yes, I would love to see what happened to her and get some backstory, but I don't know. I don't know. They might leave us hanging on that too.
Yeah. I think, I mean, again, I mean, we got some answers, like, what the CRM is, what they're up to, why they're dangerous. Okay, great.
Mhm.
Um, but one, this could have been a one season show.
Mhm.
Um, they were they drug it out so bad, and they gave us so little. All the information really came in the last 3, 4 episodes,
Right.
and it really wasn't a lot of information. We got a little taste of this, that, and the other, but I don't know, and I realized most of this is really just supposed to be set up for the movies.
And they didn't really do it. Not really.
No.
So this is where if I had the sound clip, this is where I would play the sound from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where he says, "You get nothing. You
Yeah.
lose. Good day, sir."
Good day.
Cuz that is what we got.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm really disappointed with that part overall that the expectation, was kind of there and it fell way flat as far as
Mhm.
that.
So, I don't know. I mean, at least it's over, you
Thank
know?
God.
Yeah.
That's one good thing it's over cuz I mean, if you guys that have been listening to us, if you listen to the back half of these episodes, we did not like this show overall in general. Um yeah, if it weren't for these last couple episodes, it would have been even worse, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, there was so much hype and expectation, and this was, and the big thing that they were pushing was this was the bridge episode. This is
Mhm.
where you have to watch this show so that, it for, like, they implied that it was gonna be affecting The Walking Dead, the Fear the Walking Dead, the upcoming movies, blah, 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 blah. It was
Mhm.
gonna be this big connective show. That was the whole point of it,
Mhm.
and it wasn't any of those things.
No.
This is
No.
all this information could have been a single episode in The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead.
It could have been in Tales of the Walking Dead as one
Yeah,
episode, like one little story placed in that series.
it could have been,
I mean,
from Fear the Walking Dead. It could have been, what's her name, and the helicopter girlfriend discussing the CRM and what its ultimate plan is, and why she eventually defected,
yeah,
you know? I found out that they killed, they
they
killed
killed
Omaha,
people. Lots of people.
you
Yeah.
know? Again, that could have been a pillow talk conversation between the 2 of them to let us know. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
It didn't need to be 2 seasons of "What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So,
Ugh. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I mean, honestly, it's maybe a 2. It gave us some information. It didn't live up to any of the hype. It didn't provide any of the connections that they were, or any of the payoffs they were promising. None of the payoffs. Not
Right.
Michonne, not Rick, not any, not really. What we really got was CRM bad. We knew that. CRM kills people. We knew that too. Hope helps make a is making you know, bioagent against the zombies. That was different. But again, could have been a 15-minute conversation on any other show about this.
Mhm.
Um, and then we got the little teaser whatever thing at, the end at the end credits. France made the virus. Oops.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I don't know.
Which I thought they had said we're never gonna learn how the virus started. Didn't they say that?
Yeah, but I don't know if you noticed this or not, but I'm gonna quote you. They don't make sense.
Yes, I know.
They seem to change their
Uh,
mind. We're getting different kinds of zombies. We've got I mean, they are literally going completely off canon with, with Alicia.
mhm.
I mean, that is completely off canon. And they're, this whole thing with the super walkers, over in France, again, completely off canon.
Right.
So, they're just at this point, they dropped a nuclear bomb on a different
I
I mean,
know.
come on. They're I don't know, they're winging it and they're not doing it well.
They aren't. They aren't doing it well. So,
And they're bringing back Madison, and I'm just salty about
oh
that.
god. I am scared. I am literally scared, y'all. I feel like the fear has been good to me lately. I've really
Uh-huh.
overall been enjoying it. Yes, every episode is not perfection, every episode isn't nail biting, but
Mhm.
overall it's been a win. Season
Right.
7 has been a win. And if she comes back and all the actors' vibes are off, they're different interacting with her,
Mhm.
I'm scared it's going to really change the tone of the show and not for the better.
Right. And that's what I'm afraid of because like I said, I'm telling you guys, when Fear the Walking Dead first came out, I was all excited. I'm like, "Oh, this will be cool." We've been on the East Coast, now we're gonna go to the West Coast and kind of follow, meet in the middle, so to speak.
Mhm.
Um, and I was, and here's the thing. They they had an established dogma, by the time, of The Walking Dead by the time they started Fear. And so they should have understood what the formula was that made The Walking Dead so popular.
Mhm.
And but what they gave us were really whiny, needy people that never learned their lesson on anything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's what part of what was really making me crazy about it. I mean, Madison was she was whiny and demanding and she wanted things to be a particular way and she had a vision of what the world should be. And by God, she was going to complain about it till she got her way. And the world doesn't work that way, you
Mhm.
know? And I didn't like I mean, she was pushy and shovey but she wasn't smart about anything. And yet somehow she was the leader and she was doing stupid stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Even like the stadium, okay? The stadium could have been a decent thing. The problem is she never thought to, I don't know, have security.
Oh my god, who needs security?
It never occurred to her to,
Yeah.
keep, when you're bringing in new people to keep a really close eye on them just to make sure because, there's questionable people out there. And yes, they sent in a child, but that's not the point. You know, yeah, all the damage that was done and, I mean, they had no backups for anything. And it was slapdash at best. And yet everyone was blindly following this fool of a woman, and that upset me. Okay, because she
Yeah.
wasn't a smart leader. She wasn't courageous. She wasn't, savvy. She was just annoying.
Mhm. I hear what you're
And
saying, 100%, she was like I said before, she's not my favorite person, that's for
yeah.
damn sure, yeah, I don't know.
So I
I
guess we're
don't
just
know.
gonna have to wait and see. And, it was bad enough when they set off a nuclear bomb, but then they had to bring her back.
Get ready to see her face in just a few short months.
Oh, I'm dreading it. I'm just dreading it.
Ah. Me too. And I think I mean, and I don't know the actress that well, so I don't know if she has that kind of twang normally because I only heard bits and parts of her talking on Talking Dead. But
Mhm.
Madison has this twang in her voice that annoys the hell out of me. Like the way her speech is, her cadence,
Uh-huh.
it annoys me so bad. And I don't know if that's that just the actress how she talks or if that's something she's applied to Madison.
I don't. Like I said, I've never seen her in anything else. I think it was,
Okay.
Cleo
Yourself.
mentioned that she was in something else, but she was terrible in it. And,
Uh.
and I'm just saying. Um, and, but I don't, I don't, you know, eh, I don't have her I don't have her or the actress in anything else, so just based on this character that she's playing, I don't like this character,
Mhm.
and maybe she's a great actress if they put her in a different kind of film or something or a different kind of show, but I didn't like the way that she was written. I didn't like I just and it was so unrealistic. She
Yeah.
was plucky and optimistic, and she was gonna force the world to be what she wanted.
Well,
Sweetie,
who
it's
knows?
the
She may come back
apocalypse.
acting like someone completely different.
I guess
I
she
mean,
could.
that's what I'm hoping for, honestly. If we're gonna have to deal with her, she's gonna be pushed on us if we don't want it. She's better be different. Like, I feel like that character cannot be the same character that left.
Hope not. Could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. I don't know.
Me, always here with the hope and joy. You know,
Oh my gosh, right?
just remember, guys, if there's ever an apocalypse, you want to be on my team, not hers.
Yeah,
Okay,
not Madison's team.
that's right. Not on Madison's. You want to be on my team.
Mhm. Yikes. Well, I don't know. I think we're done. What do you think, Lisa?
I think we're done.
All right, guys. We appreciate you for being here, listening to the whole episode. If you're still here listening to us, and we'll see you in a couple months. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when we come back. You'll get the little notifications.
I will
You don't
miss you
want to miss it.
guys. I
Yeah.
really will miss you guys, but I am kind of looking forward to spending some time with my family this winter. So.
Lisa, you act like we do this show every day.
I know. No, I mean it's well, this is just like the other thing that I do on top of everything else. So I'm kind of unloading my plate this month,
Yeah,
bit by
same.
bit.
Yeah,
you know,
same.
you,
But
you're just
if you guys miss me, you can still find me on the Shelf Addiction podcast. I still go through the winter every week over there. So if you miss me at all, you know where to find me. Otherwise, me and Lisa will be back together again in February.
that's right. If you miss me, you can read my book. I have 2 memoirs out. You can actually get to know me. You know. I'm just saying if you really miss me, you can find me. It'll feel better when it quits hurting.
Oh God, Lord, check her book out, y'all. Do check it
It's
out.
funny.
Yeah, Lisa's funny. Can you tell? She's funny and her book is funny. So,
Oh, thank you.
yes. All right, guys, that's it. We're going to call it. And we'll see you guys in a couple of months. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that jazz. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.